Hello everyone, today is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Hope everyone is doing well in health and strength, mentally and physically. Welcome to Tax and Accounting Ride Along, brought to you by Sans Virtual Enterprise, LLC. Your go-to dose of straight-talking tax and accounting insights for small businesses and the everyday taxpayer in the general public. Today we are going to have a quick chit-chat about unclaimed tax refund that may soon expire if you don't act soon. So without much further ado, let's crank it up and get straight to it.
Okay, let's dive into something maybe a bit shocking about federal taxes. Your tax refund. That money the government actually owes you, it can expire.
Yeah, it really can. It sounds strange, but it's a hard reality.
So our mission today is to really unpack this. We're talking about the IRS's 3-year time limit for claiming refunds. This often leads to what they call forfeited tax refunds.
And it's not a small issue. We're talking big numbers here.
Exactly. The headline figure is staggering. Something like $1.5 billion in refunds just went unclaimed from the 2023 tax season alone.
$1.5 billion. That's a huge amount of money taxpayers are just, leaving behind. It really highlights why this matters.
Absolutely. So let's get into the core of it, this 3-year rule. What exactly is it?
Okay, so the IRS has what's called a statute of limitations. Basically, you have 3 years to claim a refund. After that window closes, it's gone.
3 years. And the key detail, I think, the one that trips people up, is when that clock starts ticking. It's not when you finally file, right?
No, exactly. That's critical. It starts from the original due date of that specific tax return. Usually April 15th, though sometimes it shifts.
Right, like the sources mentioned the 2020 tax returns. Their original due date got pushed to May 17th, 2021.
Precisely. So for those 2020 returns, the absolute deadline to claim any refund was May 17th, 2024. 3 years on the dot.
And once that date passes,
it's over. The refund is forfeited. And the IRS, they are extremely strict about this.
No wiggle room, no extensions for this specific deadline, even if you had, some major life event.
Nope. The sources are clear on that. That 3-year clock is final. Regardless of circumstances, it's pretty unforgiving.
Wow. Okay, so that brings us back to the $1.5 billion. Why is so much money being left on the table? Is it just people forgetting?
Well, it's often a mix of things. Sometimes, people just forget they were due a refund, or maybe they didn't even realize they were eligible in the first place. But another big factor, and this is really unfortunate, is reluctance. People might know they have old returns to file, maybe for several years back.
And they're worried they might owe money for some of those years.
Exactly. They fear owing back taxes, penalties, interest. And so they just don't file at all, even for the years they might be due a refund.
That fear ends up costing them even more. There was a specific story in the source material that really drove this home, wasn't there?
Yes, quite a telling one. It was about a client who was trying to get caught up filing about 5 years worth of returns all at once.
Okay.
So they found out they were actually due refunds for 3 of those years. Good news, right? But 2 of those refund years had already passed the 3-year deadline. They'd expired.
Oh no, so they just lost that money. How much are we talking about?
For that specific client, those 2 expired refunds added up to about $2,000.
$2,000, just gone.
But here's the really crucial part, the kicker, so to speak. Because that deadline had passed, that $2,000 couldn't be used to offset any taxes the client owed for the other years.
Wait, really? So even though the government owed them $2,000 for those years, and maybe they owed the government for different years, they couldn't just net it out?
No. That's the rule. Once a refund is forfeited, it's truly gone. It cannot offset other tax debts. It's not just a missed payment. It's a permanent loss of that capital for the taxpayer.
That is harsh. That really underscores why paying attention to this deadline is so vital. Okay, so let's pivot. How do people avoid this? What are the actionable steps?
Right, prevention is key. It really comes down to being proactive. First, you just have to be aware. Know your filing status. Know if you might be due a refund, especially if you haven't filed for a year or 2.
Awareness first. Makes sense.
Second, timely filing is your best defense. Set reminders, use calendar alerts, whatever it takes. Don't let those original due dates slip too far into the past.
Okay.
And third, and this is really important if you do have several years of unfiled returns, seriously consider talking to a tax professional, like right away.
Why specifically a professional in that case?
Because they can immediately assess the situation. They'll know which tax years are closest to that 3-year cliff edge and can prioritize filing those returns first to make sure you claim any potential refunds before they simply vanish.
Got it. Prioritize the ones nearing expiration?
Exactly. Secure the money before the clock runs out.
So this deep dive really makes it clear, doesn't it? It's not enough just to be owed a refund by the IRS. You absolutely have to claim it within their strict time frame.
It's entirely on the taxpayer to act.
And thinking about that $1.5 billion figure again, money people are entitled to, just evaporating each year because of this rule, it really leaves you with a question, doesn't it? Well, are you listening right now confident that you have a system, like a personal review process in place to make absolutely sure you never accidentally let your money slip past that 3-year deadline? Something to think about.
Well, folks, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Tax and Accounting Ride Along, courtesy of Sands Virtual Enterprise, LLC. Got feedback or curious questions? Or maybe a topic that needs some airtime? We'd love to hear from you. Connect with us at admin@sve-accountingandtaxes.com or text us at 4045-858513. Also, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn for more insights. Catch you next time for more business talks and good times.